All right, so you guys probably knew that I kind of stopped doing the head-to-head box, month-to-month box for Monster Bass and Mystery Tackle box, and the reason for that was simply because this box is a multi-species box. Monster Bass only has a bass box. So I didn't think it was kind of fair to compare the two when the product selection in Monster Bass is going to be bass specific and this is going to be multi-species specific. But I did see something this month that I thought was kind of interesting, and I thought I would open both these boxes up, kind of talk about it a little bit. So I'm going to take out some of the stuff here. But what I thought was interesting was, there's pretty good parity in terms of some of the things that they were kind of throwing out here. And so what I was talking about here was in the Monster Bass box, there was a Thunder Cricket, which is a bladed jig. And then also in the box this month, there was a Mustad from Mystery Tackle box. They had one. So I thought that was interesting that they both had this kind of unique style of bait. Obviously, colors are different. So you've got a black blue here, which is probably going to be more for like your evening fishing. And then this other one, I don't know that it actually says. Bluegill is what they're calling this one. So I would say this is probably more of a natural presentation, maybe like for the day or something like that. But again, same sort of setup. Both of them had hooks. It's not uncommon for these boxes to have hooks. You need them when you fish. So that doesn't surprise me. So that was one of the main things. I just thought it was interesting that they both kind of had this style of jig in the box. And then crankbaits are great all year round. So Monster Bass, in here, I think has 3 different crankbaits here. And so that was interesting. This box for the multi-species had 2 different crankbaits. So this one was interesting. They went with a white and a black here. And some of that you could say is probably, night versus day sort of thing, whatever. On this side, craw, which is interesting. This, the dibble actually had mentioned craw patterns being good for this side of the year. So it was interesting. And then you've got kind of a couple other ones here that are green, kind of more possibly day use. Not really a lot of parity in terms of this one. But, you also saw, again, the reason I want to bring this up is there's this tech baits in white, and then there's these trick worms in white, which I don't know that these are necessarily limited. I bet you these, because of the size, you could catch all sorts of panfish, probably bass as well. And then, there was kind of a worm sort of bait here. So this one's more of a bluegill, kind of a green with like blue flake on it, and this one's more of a red with flake in it. And I don't know what, I've talked about these before. They do change color based on water temperature, so I don't know what color patterns this one will go through, but it's supposed to kind of represent like a bleeding fish, things like that. So that is it. That's all. That's really, I just want to point out that, as you're getting these boxes, it's kind of interesting to see, and when you're wondering how they curate these boxes and things, that there are similarities. Maybe not always the same color patterns and things, but, similar items, things that are going to catch fish for the given time of year, show up in the box. So I thought that was good. I thought that was interesting. So I thought I would just kind of share that with you guys.